NFL draft betting talk on the Huddle today. Ninja here with Tony and producer Steve. We had the Combine this past weekend, but some interesting betting markets I saw over at Bet365. Might be at other books as well, but it is for which team will draft and then two key pieces in the 2025 draft. They've got a market for Travis Hunter. They've got a market for Ashton Genty as well. Two of the bigger names on the 2025 NFL draft board. Titans have the first pick, obviously. Browns too. And then Giants, Pats, Jags, Raiders, Jets, Panthers, Saints, Bears, and then the Niners at 11. Let's start with Travis Hunter. Many think that a QB, namely Cam Ward, is going to go first overall. We've seen Abdul Carter really climb in mock drafts. Tony, where does Travis Hunter go in this draft? You can see there the Pats, the favorites, plus 200. Any thoughts on where a guy that wants to play both sides of the football, where this guy lands?
I think the Patriots make a lot of sense. I'm not, I'm not making that bet for plus 200 there. They need a wide receiver so bad. We talked about this a week or two ago when we're, speculating what free agent wide receivers could go there. They could really use a guy like that. I think the Patriots, they have Drake May, but don't they also want someone who's going to sell tickets besides Drake May? And I think that he can do that. And so it's like, if the Patriots come out and have an 8-8 season, but Drake May looks good and Travis Hunter looks good, all of a sudden the fan base is starting to get really excited and really optimistic. So I think it makes sense for that reason, but certainly at plus 200. So much can happen between now and the draft, guys. These mock drafts are going to change and stock's going to go up and stock's going to go down, and there's going to be fake reports that are going to make stock go up and stock go down. So I don't feel comfortable laying it right now.
Steve, I guess one of the big questions around this guy is he going to play both cornerback and wide receiver on Sunday?
Well, it's funny. I mean, I think he's a corner. I just think he's better at corner than he is wide receiver.
I agree.
They had the two general managers at the Combine last week. It was like Thursday or Friday. I was had NFL Network on, and they were talking about Travis Hunter, and they're like, here's what the two GMs think. And the first guy's like, yeah, he's the best wide receiver, or he's one of the best wide receivers in this class, yada, yada. Next guy's like, yeah, he's a corner. It's like, okay. We know what you guys are thinking, right? But like that's sort of the opinion on him right now. Like, put him at corner. You need corner. You can never have enough corners, man. Never. Especially this guy. Like, I think Will Johnson's a better corner. But I mean, you're still talking with two guys who I think are legitimate shutdown ones in the NFL, right? And then you sprinkle in 15 plays for him on offense, 10 plays for him on offense to keep him just there as a weapon. But I mean, depends what the Patriots do in free agency, because right now, it doesn't matter if you have a wide receiver. If you don't have a healthy quarterback to throw him the ball, you can have Jerry Rice out there and it's not going to make a difference. Like, they need an offensive line in the worst way possible. Definitely. So like I used to joke with Jason when he was on the show. Right, like Drake May can turn into Ryan Tannehill really fast, or he can turn into Justin Herbert. Just get him an offensive line, man.
It's weird to think that franchises out there sort of omit or deprioritize offensive line when it's the most important spot on the field. So Titans first, obviously Cam Ward going there. Abdul Carter mocking it too. Is there any chance, Tony, the New York Football Giants take him at 3?
Man, that would be fun to watch with Malik Neighbors and him in the same offense if he's going to play a wide receiver. Going back to that question, though, Ninja, that you asked about him playing both ways, I think there's no doubt he's talented enough to do it. But it's not going to be full-time, right? Like I like that scenario that Steve said, cornerback full-time, and then he's a weapon every once in a while on offense. Could it be the opposite? Could he be a full-time receiver, and then you bring him in maybe – in the fourth quarter of a tie game or for a key third down or something like that? I think something like that could happen. I also worry a little bit about your development when you're in the cornerback meeting room and the wide receiver meeting room and you're a rookie just trying to learn the NFL, period. I think that sounds like a really hard thing to do. So I'm going to be fascinated to see what an NFL team does. And maybe you leave it fluid. Maybe you don't know your plan going in and you see how he looks in practice and he's crushing it at wide receiver. And all of a sudden you're like, man, we got to have him on the field more. He's leaving us no choice.
I think you have to have a plan when you draft him. Like, if you don't have a plan when you draft him, don't draft him, because you're just going to find yourself getting fired, or you're going to waste this kid's first few seasons in the league. And it's going to be horrible because he's so extremely talented. But Ninja, you were talking earlier about who's going where in the draft. Adam Schefter said last week the Cleveland Browns are taking a quarterback.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, oh man.
So